Looks like it's going to start raining soon.
There's supposed to be a few drops by 2 o'clock. Goeiedag en welkom nog een keer Kwarantynwyn in die tuin saam met Klein. So since the weather is turning again and we're expecting another nice cold snap here by the weekend, we've decided tonight we'll drink a little bit of the Boplaas Cape Ruby port. Now Boplaas is owned by the Nel family, and they've owned Boplaas I think since 1880. As history dates back. Back in those days there was some distilling on the farm, but only since 1980 is the farm that we see today has it basically been brought into the light, let's put it that way.
Yes.
So the Nel family, now quite a few generations on, quite hands-on. They are responsible for planting a lot of, I think, Karoo Nel, the owner and winemaker, his father planted grapes or vineyards that he thought was Shiraz.
Yes.
And then when Karoo actually tasted it, or he was suspicious about it, realized that it was Tinta Barocca.
That's right. Yeah.
So that basically pushed him into creating port on the farm.
Yeah, but there's serendipity there. Fortunate accident.
Great word for serendipity. Now, port is, well, in South Africa we're not allowed to call it port anymore. Unfortunately, the EU declassified or said anybody outside of Portugal who produce fortified wine is not allowed to call it port if it doesn't come from there.
So what is it called
now? So in South Africa, well, thanks to Karoo now, it's now called either Cape Ruby, Cape Fortified, or Cape Tawny. And then Cape Vintage Reserve if you want to go more towards age or vintage ports on that side. So it's just a nice way to get past the loophole, but made exactly the same way as you would. So for the Tawny port here is Tinta Barocca, Tarica Nacional, and Sozo. I don't know if I pronounced that grape variety right, but it's really difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's only about 10% of that in the wine. And the wine basically gets made like you would make a normal red wine, but then gets fortified with a brandy spirit to basically stop fermentation. It gives you a higher kick of alcohol, but then also preserves the sugar in the wine. Why ports are usually a lot sweeter on that side.
Yeah.
So this is around about 17.5% alcohol, if I'm not mistaken. It's got a little bit of sugar to it. It's a beautiful dark red wine, but great nose of plum. There's some cherries like kirsch. There's a bit of spice coming through, herbaceousness.
I love the fynbos on the nose.
But it's nice and delicate. It's not too herbaceous. It doesn't make it.
It's not at all overpowering.
I agree. Now, ruby ports are the youngest form basically of port, so they're quite young. Sometimes also a blend of a few vintages, but they're not like vintage ports or aged ports. It can be a blend of anything up to like 50 years, different vintages of ports. And it only spends about 6 months in barrel. Now they use 350 litre barrels, which is also known as Portuguese pipes, where normally Burgundy would use 225 and Bordeaux uses 400 litre barrels, I think. For port they use the 350 Portuguese pipes on that.
I like that name, Portuguese pipe.
Portuguese pipe. Sounds like you could smoke it. Now, the Nel family are all hands-on. As far as I know, Karoo Nel's daughter, Margot, is now the winemaker. Son Dani is the distiller. And then Razan, I think, is in charge of marketing. So it's a nice hands-on affair.
Yeah. Family business, lovely.
And we like that, and especially with a family that's been living on Calitzdorp and making wine there for so long. I like to see that lineage continue.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't know where Calitzdorp is about a 4.5-hour drive from Cape Town. It falls in the Klein Karoo. It's a little bit located to the northwest of George and Mossel Bay. So dry area, very hot in summer, cold in winter, relies on winter rainfall to actually survive the summers. Summers most of the time over 40 degrees. But yeah, as Carl also says, every 20 odd years there's a flood that goes through Calitzdorp as well. So trying conditions to make wine. But yeah, from us here at Kwarantynwyn to the Nel family, thank you for making some port and keeping us warm this winter. So
yes, perfect on a day like today.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So for now, drink the wines while you have them. Stay warm, stay safe. Cheers.